Hi, my name is Dr. Christina Christian. I am an assistant professor at Central Connecticut State University in New Britain, Connecticut. I serve in the Department of Special Education and Interventions. I've been in the field of special education for 30 years this year, and it seems almost like yesterday. But one of the things that I would say I am challenged by is watching so many special educators leave the field. And admittedly, I did have a couple of those crossword road experiences where the exhaustion from the field was enough to where I had to, on at least 2 occasions, step back and sort of reassess and ask myself if I had what it took to remain in the field, because it is challenging. Perhaps the biggest challenge in the field is the initiatives. I don't know, when I look back on all of the reform efforts in education, public school education, and all of the initiatives that have come and gone, and some have remained, I don't know of many that does not or that did not directly impact special education. One of the issues that we have is, as a special education teacher, the job is already challenging. Number one, there are a lot of legal measures involved. You're talking about, having to meet with parents, having to sign legal documents, contractual documents with parents that let them know what you'll be doing with their children for that year. And whatever you sign one year, you've got to go through and reevaluate and do it each year from that point on. And it's not just the contractual agreement, but it's the challenges that children experience. You've got to figure out how they learn. How do I change the curriculum to meet their needs? So there's a lot of individualization that goes on in the field. When you take that and you add to that the need to partner with parents, and you add to that the need to have multiple meetings within a year, and then you begin to look at what the rest of the school is doing to again, those reform efforts, there's a lot to being a special educator. It can be exhausting on a good day. I think one of the things that I have really focused on in the last 15 years in education is streamlining the field for special educators, especially now since we're losing so many. We're getting what we call provisionally licensed special educators coming into the field. And what that means is we take a person who is interested in leaving another career. They earn their 4-year degree and they're saying, you know what, I want to leave banking and I want to go into teaching. Well, you go in, you literally become a teacher, and you're teaching while you're being educated to teach. It's sort of what that adage of building the plane while you fly it. So provisionally licensed teachers are teaching while they're learning to teach. And when you're in the field of special education, it is an overwhelming task. And for that reason, I've really been devoting a lot of my research to finding ways to help those special education teachers meet those reform efforts. How do we streamline the multi-tier system of supports and response to intervention and positive behavioral intervention and supports? How do we streamline that? Because they have to do it. Special education teachers and regular education teachers have to do it. But how do we help them do it seamlessly so that it doesn't become so overwhelming that they end up leaving because they're under that much stress that they can't, not only can they not be effective in the classroom, but there's no work-life balance. And now what is happening in the classroom, not only is that not effective, but now I don't even have a life with my family. And that's a reality. As educators, it's not enough that the actual school day is overwhelming, how much of the school day you actually have to take home with you. And for provisionally licensed teachers, not only is the day exhausting, they take work home and they're in school, because you remember, you have to go to school to get that, to become a licensed teacher. And so the life of a special education teacher, especially those who are provisionally licensed, it's exhausting. And I applaud them. But at some point we do need to ask ourselves, how do we help them? How do we make things a little easier so that these people who raise their hand to go into the classroom and take on a monumental task won't leave next year or in 2 years?